What's up, everybody? Tori, McElhaney, Terrin, Waack, and General Manager Terry Fontenot reporting from the Indianapolis NFL Scouting Combine here on Radio Row. Now, Terry, this is probably interview number 7 that you've done
it's been a lot.
This morning.
Yeah.
I'm curious, more so taking a step back for a second. When you were kind of like getting to the point of you're bringing Raheem and the entire staff in, how do you kind of marry the fact that the scouting department, y'all's scouting department, has done so much work on this draft class to this point, and you're trying to marry together what Raheem's vision is, what Zach Robinson's vision is, Jimmy Lake, well, take us into that process.
Yeah, that's really cool. So we went through February meetings with the scouts. Those are just the scouts. Kyle Smith runs those meetings, and you basically go through, we've got the season, and then we've got the All-Star games, and we go through, stack the board based off that, right?
Yeah.
So that's the scouts. Then we get into the meetings with the coaches. So we met about our roster, and then we got through and we went through the profiles that every coach is looking for at the position moving forward. These are the ideals, these are the non-negotiables, and so we spend all that time with the coaches going through it with the scouts, right? And so we know, okay, this is what we're looking for moving forward. This is the vision for these players that we have on the roster. This is what we're looking for moving forward. Then we transition right into free agency, and we start to have those conversations. So as you're doing it, it's really good communication because scouts will ask questions. Okay, coach, we know this is how you want a cornerback to look, and this is, okay, what if we have this, or what if we have this? Because we talk about it all the time, no one's perfect. There's not just a perfect prototype for everything. We all have flaws. What can we live with? What can we not live with? So there's been a lot of really, really good communication with the coaches, and so we can do that together. So it starts with going through our roster and going through the draft, and then we meet with the coaches a lot, and it's super collaborative. So as the coaches get more involved in college, we're going to sit down again and have those meetings, and we'll have those conversations as we evaluate the players. This is where everyone sees them, and okay, what can we improve? What can we live with? What can we not? So those are it's going to be a lot of work together,
right?
But it's exciting.
What have you learned about Raheem Morris during this process?
It's I would say it's just confirmed everything, right? Because the things you're so excited about Raheem is the person he is. That's what it starts with. The leader he is, the collaborative mindset that he has, and you know all those things. The daily energy. I can't walk in the building without him yelling at me from upstairs, and it starts right away. And it's kind of confirmed everything, and he put together such a great staff. And it's like-minded people that, again, people that are positive, that have a lot of energy, that have a lot of passion, that are really smart, but also are very collaborative. So that communication that the guys have had together, again, it starts with me and Raheem, but it's gone throughout the building. So I'd say just confirmed a lot of things and get more and more excited as we go.
When it comes to the fact, I mean, we got to talk about the quarterback. I mean, I'm sure you've been asked 17 times over about it.
Nobody's brought that up.
None. No one. Not at all. That's a lie. So when it came to when Raheem did his introductory press conference, he made the comment. He was like, okay, we haven't had a ton of conversations yet. Those are coming. Those are imminent. How have those conversations evolved since that point in time, and as y'all have gone through the scouting meetings, the February meetings, all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on it. And again, it starts at every position talking about what are our ideals, what are we looking for, what's most important. But we know we have an open mind about it. There's not just this fixed thing that this is the only way we're going to attack it at any position. So we have a lot of those conversations, and then we get into it, and we meet about the veterans that are available, be it free agency, via trade, and then now we're starting to get through the draft guys that are available. And we have a lot of from Zach Robinson, TJ Yates, Ken Zampese, DJ Williams. There's a lot of really, really smart people that we're working with, and that part has been really fun. So it's important because there's different ways to do it, right? There's not just one specific, okay, this is the only type of quarterback we want here. No, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And so, but the collaboration and the communication has been outstanding.
How confident do you feel in the plan that y'all have put together? I know it's probably evolving, and you'll get a lot of information over the coming days about the guys who are here, but how solid do y'all feel about everybody moving in the same direction?
Yeah, I feel very confident. And again, it's because of the people we have in the building and the work that's been put into it. But you're right, Tori. You do have to be fluid because there's a lot of
Never
variables, and we're gathering more information as we go. And so we're continuing to get every one of those. We're getting to meet with some of these guys over the next couple of days, and we're continuing to go through that process. So feel very, very confident about where we are right now, and we're going to be flexible and continue to move forward.
It sounds like things have been going seamlessly since Raheem has got here. Is that true, and does it surprise you if so?
No, it doesn't surprise me at all because that was kind of the expectation. It's like I said, it's just fun. Anytime we have meetings with the whole staff in there, you get more and more excited about this staff. And like I said, we have a very smart, passionate staff, but also it's very collaborative. And we know we have a very passionate front office and the whole staff, whether we're talking about analytics or in all the groups in the building. We have a really, really good staff. And so when everybody's working together, moving in the same direction, and we're not talking about people that just we're not talking about groupthink, right? And we have disagreements and we see things differently and we work through them. So there's a lot of good conversations going on, but it's very, very exciting.
How have Zach Robinson and Jimmy Lake specifically earned your trust?
Right away from when I got to sit in on those interviews and really go through them and all the research that you do, just like players. When you're looking at players, you talk to a lot of different sources and gather information about them. So we did that. And just like Raheem, it starts with the man. Those are great men, right? And great human beings, great people. Those are people that you want to be like. Those are real, true leaders of man. And so, or even, again, I knew that about Marquise already, but talking about all our coordinators, these are real leaders of man. And when you get into the football part of it, and then you just really feel their acumen. And as you're going through this, whether you're evaluating our roster, evaluating college or pro players, or just talking about specific visions for what we're looking for, as you go through those meetings, you really get to feel how sharp those guys are, how humble those guys are in the right way, and then how willing they are to continue to evolve and adapt as we move forward.
How do you prioritize needs over essentially position by position?
Yep.
When you know, okay, we need X, Y, or Z here, here, and here. How do you prioritize, okay, this is where we need to go into the draft to get somebody, go into free agency to get somebody? Like, what does that prioritization look like?
Yeah, so you identify your must needs and wants, right? We look at our roster. Okay, these are the must needs and wants, and then you look at the total picture, right? So this is what's available in the draft. This is what's available in free agency. This is what's available via trade, and then you go through all the if-then scenarios, right? So okay, this is option A. If we do this, then this is how we'll fill this. Okay, if you pivot here, this is how it really does affect every area, and you talk through all those situations. Again, we have our plans, and yet as you get more information, those plans can shift. But you're right, you have to look at the total picture. You can't just have blinders on and say, I'm just going to look at free agency, I'm just going to look at possible trades, you have to look at the total picture. Where are the strengths in free agency in the draft, so you can figure out a way to, because you want to bring in the best possible players that you can, and not get, even if we have a must here, okay, and then there may not even be a need at a certain spot. But if we get a guy that can really help this team and then we're going to go after him and understand that, as opposed to reaching and getting a lesser player to must, if that makes sense.
No, that does.
We talk about a guy like Jesse Bates, and you want to add guys like that, or a guy like Caden Ellis or David Onyemata, regardless of if they're at must positions. We want to add good players that fit the makeup for us, and whether we're talking about free agency or the draft. But to answer your question, we have to really look at the total picture, and these are the ways we're going to fill all these areas, and look at all the different avenues to do it.
I want to get into some salary cap stuff before we let you go. This year there was a $30 million increase, and I think overall it was a lot of money that I don't think a lot of people truly expected that. When it comes to your conversations that you're having with other general managers in the league and other coaching staffs, all of that kind of stuff, what was that impact like? And also, what's the impact like for this organization, this Falcons team, where y'all are now?
Yeah, it makes a difference. It was unprecedented.
Right.
Because to get that that number, and especially when you look at where it was 3 years ago,
Yeah.
or even where it was 10 years ago, it's unbelievable how much it's grown. It says a lot about this league and the growth of the NFL, and so anyone that works in the NFL should be excited about that. Those are all good things. Now, what we have to do is we map out our plans, and regardless of if that cap number came in $20 million less, we still got to hit these must needs and wants, and we still got to get it done, and we still have to make sure we look at getting everything done we need to get right now, but then make sure we're also looking at the long-term health and the long-term future. And so we'll have to do the same thing. It's not like you get extra money and, okay, now we're going to be reckless and careless in terms of what we do. We have to figure out exactly what we need, figure out the right ways to get it, but have a strategy regarding the cap as well, because we don't want to just win a championship this year. We want to win multiple championships, and we want to be a good football team for a long time. We want to build our team for long-term success. So excited to get that number back, but we still have to have the right strategy moving forward.
Last question, we'll let you go. Every year you kind of come to the Combine and you've had kind of a theme of your Combine availabilities. I don't know if you've realized this about yourself. Yeah. So
is there a theme this year yet?
So I think you just kind of said it, but I'm going to really have you like hone in on it. But in 2021 is we have to be smart, we have to be strategic, we have to be patient, we have to get this thing on track. In 2022 is facing kind of the elephant in the room, taking on a lot of dead money in order to kind of just take it on the chin and move forward. 23, it was about discipline. And just because we have all this money doesn't mean you just go buck wild with it.
Buck wild, I haven't heard that in a while.
I'm from Chickamauga, Georgia. I got to represent in some way. What is it for 2024?
Yeah, I think for 2024 is we're just very clear with our needs and what those areas are, and we got to go get them. And again, it's very exciting. I'm very excited about where we are, but we will be aggressive, and we have to make this total team better. Clearly, we're going to get the quarterback position right, not close. And the reason I have, it's not an arrogance, it's a confidence, but it's because of the people we have in our building, from Kyle Smith and the staff through Raheem and Zach and the entire coaching staff. That's why I'm very confident that we're going to get it right. But then also there's other things too. In our entire roster, everybody's going to look in the mirror just like myself. I'm going to get better. Everybody that's on our roster now, they're going to get better. They're going to take that next step, and then we're going to add the right pieces. We're going to make this team better, and we're going to be ready to roll.
I love it. That's a good note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, we are coming from Radio Row at the NFL Combine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.